Hi guys, how you all doing? Welcome to Backyard Chef. I'm Rick. Today we're going to make Chinese scrambled eggs with tomatoes. Now, it is a fairly simple dish to make, but everybody makes it slightly their own way, and some of it is terrible, some of it's very good. Now, I was taught by a chef called Fong, and I can tell you now, he was a master chef. So I'm going to show you my way of making Chinese scrambled eggs with tomatoes. Now, this is going to start with the sauce for me, because once we get cooking, we're going to need the sauce. So we're going to start with the sauce for this dish. Let's show you how to make it. Come on. Okay, what we're going to do, we're going to start with our sweet noodle sauce that we made before. And we want about a tablespoon of that sweet sauce in there. Now, you can use more or less, it's up to you, but this is a fantastic starting point. To that, we're going to add our chicken powder, we're going to add our sugar, and then all we're going to do is we're going to give this a mix first. Let's get this fully incorporated in there. Now, we don't add salt to this, guys. Our noodle sauce is salty enough, and the salt in the chicken powder. Don't put salt in, as the eggs are going to be as salty as heck. Right, now to that we want to add a cornstarch slurry. So we're going to get that in there. Now, this is a cornstarch slurry of 1 part cornstarch to 1 part water. And the part I'm using is 1 tablespoon. And we do want to add a little splash of water. Not too much. And we give that a mix in. Make sure it's all fully incorporated in there. I can hear all that sugar grinding up in the bottom with this spoon. So that is our sauce for our Chinese scrambled eggs and tomatoes. So just put that to one side. Right, in a bowl, we're going to prep our eggs. Okay, so now on the recipe, I'm going to write down 4 eggs, 4 medium eggs, but I've got these extra large ones, so I'm going to put 3 of these in. So crack your eggs in your bowl. Now, some people put salt in these eggs, and you know, it firms up the egg a little bit, but you don't want to be using too much salt because you've got salt in your sauce already. So what we'll do is we'll put a minute pinch of salt in there. What we do want a little shake of white pepper. Now, give your eggs a little beating up. Now, you can use chopsticks, you can use a whisk, you can use anything you want. So give your eggs a little bit of a beating up there. Let's just put that to one side. And we want to take some green onion. And all we're going to do is finely slice the green onion, and we're going to add to our eggs. So nice and steady then. Then all we're going to do is add that to our egg and just give that a little mix in. So that's our eggy onion mix with a little bit of pepper in there and a tiny pinch of salt. Right, we want to put that to one side. Now we need to prep our tomatoes. Now, the tomatoes are prepped in a special way. Now, you can chuck all that in like that if you so wish, but we're going to take the skins off like I was shown a long time ago. Okay, to get the best flavour and the best texture out of our Chinese scrambled egg and tomatoes, we need to take this skin off. Now, the way I was shown, now you can do it two ways. You can do it on a flame like we're going to do, or you can steam it. Either way, you have to put a little nick, a little cross with a sharp knife in the top of your tomato. And it will all become apparent when we start cooking. So do that with all your tomatoes. A nice little cross in the top like that. Right, now what we need to do is we need to take our tomato, and through the stalk end we need to either shove in a skewer or a chopstick. And then we turn on the flame. So get the flame on, and this is where you've got to be really careful, guys. But what we're going to do is we're going to burn the skin. Nice and gently over the flame. Let's cook the skin. And you can see what's happening. The skin is peeling. And we're burning the chopstick. There we are. That's an easy way. And then what we do, we put our tomato in the tub, cover it with a lid. Same again. So put that in there, cover it with the lid. We'll do this with our last tomato. Okay, last one, flame off. That's the first stage of our tomatoes. So that's the first stage of our tomatoes in there. Then all we need to do is take out the tomato, and we're going to peel the skin off. We do not want that skin. So take off your skin. That is as easy as that, guys. That is how you get rid of the skin. We do not want this core in the tomato. So it's a normal way. We need to just get rid of it. So take your knife, slice through your tomato, and take the core out. We don't want that. We don't want to be munching through that. So that's out. So this is how you prepare your tomatoes for this dish. So take out the core. As easy as that. Now do that with all your tomatoes. So all we need to do now is cut these tomatoes into bite-sized pieces. That is all. And all we're going to do is we're going to put them in a tub. Okay, so we want a little bit of oil in the pan. We're going to cook our eggs. Now this is where everybody makes a mistake, guys. They normally put all the eggs in, chuck the tomatoes, and they end up with a mush. So what you do, you turn on your flame. Don't have to be high for this, not at all. It needs to be cooked nice and steady. And then what we need to do, we need to go in with our egg mixture. Get our egg mixture in there. This is where we cook nice and easy. You know, it's called scrambled eggs, but we're not going to mash it all up. What we're going to do is let it set up a little bit, and then we're going to give it a gentle push. That's all we're doing. We want the egg to cook through, but we want chunks of egg. We don't want mashed up scrambled pieces. And it's a gentle push. This is where everybody makes a mistake. They chuck everything in. Oh, it's scrambled egg. Okay, scramble all the eggs, chuck the tomatoes in. Absolute nonsense. Okay, nice and gentle. Let's cook that bit of an egg in there. Now all we're going to do is, as we're cooking and pushing gently, we're going to fold it over. Fold it over in the pan. We want to cook the other side a little bit, you know. We don't want raw egg everywhere. But we're not going to cook this down too far either. If it gets a little bit of colour on there, fantastic. It looks superb with a little bit of brown on. Just gently fold. And all we're doing is cooking that rawness off those eggs. These are going to be nice and soft and supple, a little bit squidgy. They're going to be absolutely perfect. The thing is as well, if you cook for too long, you know, you can turn these into rubbery eggs, which we don't want. Now those eggs are perfectly cooked. They're coming out and they're going to go in a tub, guys. So take your eggs out and put them in a tub. Now, you get your pan back on, but don't put any oil in. No oil, just add your tomatoes straight away. And what we're going to do is give the tomatoes a bit of a cooking in there. And they're going to be they will turn soft and that in their own juices, you know, so we're actually cooking some of the fluid out at the same time. Now you can turn the flame up a little bit higher for this. So there is no oil required. We use the oil to set the eggs. So by cooking it this way, you're actually putting that sweetness onto those tomatoes as it's cooking, you know, as it's breaking down. And you can actually feel how hard these tomatoes are. So you cook them down to what you feel, you know, because the last stage of this stir fry is very quick and they're not going to cook for very long. As you can see, most of the fluid started to evaporate out of this pan. Now this is a proper way to cook Chinese scrambled egg and tomatoes. There's many people cook it all sorts of ways, you know. I was taught this way by a fantastic chef. Feel your tomatoes. Now feel it with whatever you're cooking with, and you can feel that some of these are still quite firm. Well, that's okay. You know, we want tomato in there. We don't want it all mush. So as soon as it starts like that, guys, with hardly any fluid, back in with your egg. Okay, now this is where you actually flick everything together. Not too much cooking before we go in with our sauce. So in with our sauce. Looks a lot of water, doesn't it? It's not, guys. Quick stir around. Start to get that sauce cooking. Now it will start to thicken quite quickly with the corn flour that's in there. As soon as it starts thickening, stir through. Make sure you don't burn it. Turn it down. And that, folks, is scrambled egg and tomatoes, Chinese style, made properly. Now if you want it a little bit thicker, cook it a little bit longer. You know that sauce is still thickening in there, but do not burn it on the bottom of the pan. Cooked, done, off the heat, guys, ready to serve. There you are, folks. That's how to make Chinese scrambled egg and tomatoes, as I was shown by Chef Fong. That is amazing. And you know what happens with the scrambled egg and the tomatoes? When you cook the tomatoes that way with our sauce that we made, it's like a ketchup. Now, I'm not saying it's ketchup, but the tomatoey flavour and the sauce is like a ketchup. It is absolutely delicious with these scrambled eggs. That is amazing. Guys, if you like what we're doing, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe, share with your friends, all that kind of stuff. Catch you in the next video.